Hello everybody, welcome to RDTV. My name's Paul Jeffrey and today we've got something pretty exciting behind us. It's the Ferrari 488 Challenge EVO in the original Assetto Corsa simulation. That's right, a brand new car for Assetto Corsa, developed with the aid of Kunos and the legend that is Ferrari. We've got the 488 Challenge EVO free to you, provided you participate in the Ferrari Esports Series. It's an entirely free car, it's new content in 2020 and it's officially badged by Ferrari. I am super excited to give this car a try, see how it handles in the sim, and of course we've picked Mugello because you've just got to if it's a Ferrari, and I'm going to now take it out through its paces and share with you some of my thoughts and experiences of what it's like to drive the Ferrari 488 Challenge EVO. Now, just to clarify, this car will be free to download and use in the Ferrari Esports Series, so make sure, if you're interested, to get over there and give it a try. It is, I'm not going to spoil the video, but it's a great piece of content, and I'm going to tell you all about it in just a few minutes' time. So, let's go racing at Mugello in a new car in 2020. Right then, let's go and see what this bad boy can do. So this is the 2019, October to be precise, 2019 Ferrari 488 Challenge EVO. So this is the evolution version of the already hugely successful and popular 488. With increased downforce, 660 wildly brake horsepower, some bigger, grippier, stickier Pirelli tyres bolted onto the car, and what Ferrari claimed to be around 30% extra downforce over the original 488 Challenge. The car is very much an improvement in every single way. Designed for Ferrari's own one-make championship, the car gives you a mix of different driving abilities in the series. So we've got some really professional drivers who are looking to make a name for themselves, some young up-and-coming rookies, and then of course the staple of GT racing, the gentleman driver. So folks who are not going to be making a paid career out of motorsport but are well funded enough to be able to go and do regular championship races. So make no mistake, the Ferrari Challenge is an incredibly high skill level of drivers. Some racers have been in the series for a number of years and are very much the master of this kind of car. And as such, Ferrari need to build something that's quick, something that's engaging to drive, but also something that's accessible and raceable for a variety of different skill sets. And with the 488 EVO Challenge, or Challenge EVO should I say, they've done just that. There's improved ABS. The car runs as standard with traction control, so you can be very heavy on the right foot out of corners and know that the trickery on board the vehicle will save you from looping the car around. And as a consequence, it makes a very raceable car. So this is a kind of car that you can push and requires concentration to get it on the limit, but at the same time, it's very forgiving. You can go over that limit, get the car where the back end's trying to overtake the front, and still catch it, which is fabulous because you can then use your faculties to concentrate on racing against your rivals. So I anticipate this being a very good race car, and by that I mean a car that really does want to allow you to fight closely with your competitors out on the circuit, which is exactly what the Real World Championship tries to achieve with its car. And it's good news for us sim racers, so that should mean the Ferrari Esports Series produces some really enjoyable racing. So as I say, I'm token and driving, and by no means taking the car to its limit in this run, but it's a really compliant car. A little bit long on the braking distances, with the default setup that we're running. I've not changed anything from how the car comes as stock. So with the default setup, it's a little bit on the understeering side as the tyres are starting to warm in. So you need to be a little bit cautious on entry into the corner, brake a little bit earlier than you would do in, let's say, a GT3 car, and certainly in a Formula car. But when it comes to corner exit, you can just mash that throttle. We've got traction control set to standard for this run, which I believe is setting 3. So we can, or setting 2 should I say, sorry. So I have no concerns whatsoever about traction limiting on corner exit, which is really confidence inspiring. Once you get the car stopped, late apex into T1 on the throttle, absolutely no hint of the rear end losing grip. Of course, I would imagine the more accomplished driver will want to take that traction control down to 1, maybe even turn it off completely to get absolute best launch possible out of the corners. But again, this car, the 488 Challenge EVO, in real and virtual, is designed to be accessible to a wide variety of different driver skill sets. So if you're not as confident or as experienced a racer as some of your rivals, you can leave that traction control setting where it's at and just concentrate on where your car position is on the circuit relative to the other rivals, and just going side by side and having a good motor race, which is absolutely fabulous. In fact, this car is more akin for me to a touring car than it is a GT car in its initial feel, which, as everybody knows, that knows me, knows I like my touring cars, so that's no bad thing at all. It's like a touring car, but blessed with ridiculous amounts of horsepower, which is absolutely fantastic. We can really take the curbs here at Mugello without too much worry, a little bit of bounce as it comes back down again. It's a stiffly sprung car, but there is suspension travel, and this model that we're driving, this mod for the sim, really does a great job on the suspension travel. I've not raced in Assetto Corsa or used Assetto Corsa really in any kind of anger for quite a long time, and playing with this car has just reminded me how good a quality sim AC really is. The force feedback is absolutely beautiful. It's telling me what the car's doing underneath me, it's telling me what the tyres and the suspension and the body roll are getting up to, and I can feel that all through my hands, through the wheel, and then I can obviously moderate what I'm doing out on track based on what that's telling me. So we've talked about the real car, let's talk about the virtual counterpart. Let's talk about this, the 488 Challenge EVO, being designed in cooperation with Kunos and with Ferrari, and available for anybody who registers for the Ferrari eSport Championship. So it's free. Get yourself registered for the championship, have a crack at qualifying, and get yourself a pretty darn cool piece of content for ACC. And it is, as you would expect, as the quality is always in an official Kunos DLC, back when AC should I say, was actively being developed, the quality is fantastic. The 3D model is absolutely beautiful. Fans of VR will thoroughly enjoy looking around the highly detailed cockpit. The Challenge EVO has a steering wheel inspired by their 488 GTE car, the Le Mans winning car, so it's a big upgrade over the original 488 Challenge that preceded the car. All Modcon's Formula style design with all the 1001 different buttons on it, really attractive looking steering wheel. I've got it turned off for the sake of this video because I'm using a slightly unusual field of view due to the single screen recording restrictions. But the whole cockpit has been beautifully detailed. The car looks the absolute business, as you would expect from anything Kunos, quite frankly. I'm sure we'll all know who the 3D modeler is, but this one a very prolific 3D modeler in both Assetto Corsa and Assetto Corsa Competizione. The audio, as you can hear, is absolutely beautiful on this car as well. It's one of the better sounding vehicles in the original AC racing sim. It's got a great off-throttle noise as we're going down the gears, and does the full 660 brake horsepower in this car justice in the audio department. And the physics, they've had the magic hand of Harris involved in them, so as you can imagine they are pretty wonderful, and the physics are really good. The force feedback tells me absolutely everything I need to know. The cars are live, but at the same time absolutely planted, if that can make any sense. Really encourages you to push the limits of the car to the absolute edge. It's one of these cars that the more you drive it, the more it will reward you with a good time, which is exactly the kind of car I like to drive. It's a modern car, it's got modern performance, it's got modern handling, yet at the same time it's still got a really glorious nod to yesteryear as well. It's an engaging drive. It's not, well, GT3 cars, let's say for example in GTE, garner criticism from sim racers. As much as they do praise as well, they get criticism for being a little bit robotic, a little bit sterile, and this is none of that. It's really a live car while at the same time being forgiving. Thoroughly enjoy driving this one. Of course, I've got this car slightly earlier than its public release, so it could be subject to change, and absolutely, of course, I'm driving this all on my own at Mugello, and I can imagine this thing really comes alive when you get on a track with 20 odd other people who practice just as much as you have, and you're going toe to toe on the virtual tracks of the world. It's absolutely, if ever there was a car designed to race against other people, this is it. A beautiful, absolutely beautiful mod. I must admit I need to reacquaint myself with AC to be able to make this next statement with any kind of authority, but using the memory, muscle memory of my many hundreds of hours in Assetto Corsa back when it first came out, I would argue pretty easy to say that this is one of the best cars in the sim. It's that good. A really nice car, really nice sound, outstanding 3D model, force feedback, absolutely exquisite, handling, beautiful, rewarding for those with more experience and more pace, comfortable enough for those with less experience to get out there and give it some welly right from the off. It's everything you want and more on four wheels. A virtual masterpiece, some might say. Really like this car. Very impressed with it. Thoroughly enjoyed my time around Mugello. Forgot actually how really good Mugello is. What a beautiful track. Can't wait for the Formula 1 to visit this venue a little bit later on in the year. So, this has been a very quick summary impression of the Ferrari 488 EVO Challenge EVO, which is, as I say, a free official car for Assetto Corsa Competizione. Assetto Corsa, sorry, the original. And when I say official, I mean it's been developed with the aid of Kunos and Ferrari. It is free if you register for the Ferrari eSports Series. So this car will be the one they exclusively use throughout the championship, and all participants can get access to it. Access begins on August the 7th, 2020, so do get over there to the Ferrari eSport website, get yourself registered for that championship. It will be, I am sure, a very entertaining series, and if my time in this car is anything to go by, I absolutely cannot wait to see how our pro and am drivers fare in this championship. Should be a really exciting experience, and of course a great prize at the end of it as well, so it's worth your time to get that practice in. But even if you've got no ambition of getting up there and qualifying for the grand finals or the live stream races, it's worth registering and taking part just to get over this car, because it is lovely jubbly. Really like it. So There we go folks, I'm going to throw back to myself again after I've doused myself down in water because, as always, the man cave where I record these things is upwards of 1,000 degrees centigrade and I am boiling red hot. I will do a little closing summary and close down this video. So I'm going to be quiet for a moment and let you have a little listen to what this car's like without me rambling over the top of it. The Ferrari 488 Challenge EVO, everybody, Assetto Corsa. Let's have a listen to this as we power down into the wonderful first corner, over the bumps of the start-finish straight, into T1 at Mugello. What a car. So there we have it folks, that was the Ferrari 488 Challenge EVO for Assetto Corsa, a new car developed in collaboration with Kunos and Ferrari themselves and available to download for free for those who take part in the Ferrari eSports series beginning August the 7th. Thoroughly enjoyed my time in the car, thoroughly enjoyed getting back into Assetto Corsa again, which is something I've really not been involved with too much in the last few months, even maybe the last year or so. Really opened my eyes to how good that simulation really is despite its age. So give it a try for yourself, see what you think. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do take part in the esports series, then best of luck to you, and if not, enjoy some exceptional content. My name has been Paul Jeffrey. This has been RETV on the Race Department YouTube channel, a channel that you can like and subscribe to make me happy. We're also on Twitch where we do a lot of live streaming and race broadcasters, so check us out on there, and Race Department on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and of course RaceDepartment.com. Once again, thank you very much for tuning in everybody. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye bye.